All right, here we go. We are back, and the sights and sounds of the McCall Zone are still buzzing today on our last day of our event. And what a better way to end the Stronger Together podcast experience here at McCall than a first. This is the first time we have dogs on our podcast. We're going live. Check them out. They are down here. It is super exciting to have them here, and we're thrilled to have you guys. So now we're going to hear a little bit about the story of this crew here, which is Pause Assisting Learners. So Monica, welcome in, and I'd love to hear the story of these amazing animals and how they're helping schools and learners.
Hi, I'm Monica House. I work with Walled Lake Consolidated Schools. I'm a special ed teacher there, but I had the idea of bringing therapy dogs into our district. I expected to get shot down every step of the way. Instead, it was the complete opposite. So our goal is to have a dog in every building. Currently, we have 8 dogs and there are 20 buildings. We've been doing this the dogs have been in place for about 4 years. They go right from the breeder to the trainer. They train 10 to 13 months or so. They live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with the trainer, and then they come and work in our schools. Walled Lake has a very strict policy or high expectations with our therapy dogs. We do not let our dogs put their paws on anyone. They're not allowed on furniture. They're trained not to lick. They don't get snacks at school because we don't want them to accidentally take a student's lunch or if the mom's bringing something in. They spend all day at school. There's a schedule. It changes depending on the building. They have at least an hour of PE every day. They do get an hour of rest, but the rest of the time they're visiting all the classrooms and doing what the teachers want them to do, whether it's to stay put and kids come up or the dogs circulate through the classroom.
Awesome. So I'm going to throw something on the screen here. Here is all the information. Is it called Walled Lake?
Just Walled Lake.
Walled Lake. Here's all of Monica's information. Check out all of this amazing work that they're doing on these socials. And for those who are visiting the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, what would be some things they see?
Like visiting me?
No, visit any of the sites, or what are you sharing online? Just the success stories?
So we share a lot of pictures. I can share personal experiences. If you reach out to me, I am more than willing to help anybody, any district that wants to bring it into their buildings. I hope one day that it's the norm. And instead of people saying, oh, you have a dog, how come you don't have a dog? One of the biggest surprises that we noticed was recess.
Really?
Yeah, the dogs will go outside and the kids are no longer griping. It's too cold. We have kids moving around that normally complain about having to be outside. So they're getting a lot of activity, just collaboration where they want to run together and the kids are hanging out with the dogs.
So what are you doing here at McCall with the dogs?
I am here to share with everybody how to start a program in their building or their district. If you are interested in that in a session, reach out to me and I will be glad to help you.
What's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
Email is probably the easiest, but anything on the social media contacts, come right to me.
Awesome. So the social media is streaming below, so make sure to check those out. Make sure to go to either of those sites to see Monica. Is it all right to share your email? I don't want to.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So if you want to connect with Monica, here's her email. Connect with her, talk about the program, talk about having the dog. What are the dogs' names? One was Champ.
Today, Champ and Romeo are here.
All right. No Juliet?
No.
That's the day off. Is there one? I was just making a joke.
No, there is not. It's
All right.
actually named after a breeder.
Okay, got you. So what would a typical day be for Champ or Romeo? Besides when they're stars at McCall.
They come into school, depending on the level, whether it's elementary or secondary. Elementary has a schedule, and they just follow that schedule. For secondary, there's a sign up, and that's the schedule that's followed. And they just visit all the classrooms. If there's an emergency that comes up, then they handle that emergency, and the students know that for whatever reason, the dog's not coming to their classroom that day. But the dogs are busy and seeing all students. It's not just one classroom. Our schools own the dogs, so we do our best to get the dog out in the community and in the school building.
Wonderful. And it's not a pet, correct? I mean, no, it's a dog, and it's an animal that's supporting schools. Can you talk about the difference?
Sure. When she has her vest on, I'm talking about Champ because Champ lives with me.
Okay.
But when our dogs have their vest on, they know they're working. When the vest comes off, they know they can play, they can chase balls, they can run around,
impressive.
They act just like a dog. The big difference is they're not licking, they're not jumping on people. Whether the vest's on or not, they're very caring animals, but they do know the difference when they're allowed to run and play versus when they're not.
Wonderful. And it must take a lot to train them. Is that what your role is as well?
No, I run the program in Walled Lake Schools.
Okay.
We have a trainer that we go through, Maple Lane Kennels, also known as Wing and Shot Gun Dog Training. They train with them for 10 to 13 months.
Okay.
So it's a very intense training.
Wow. Now, did your session already happen, or is it coming up?
It just ended.
All right. What was the reaction of the people in there? Were they excited?
The reaction was nobody wanted to leave. They wanted to keep talking and getting information.
I can imagine. So for schools who reach out to you, the website's right here, and get started, like what can they expect to begin? Like what's that first few weeks look like?
When a dog is introduced to the school?
Yes.
So we phase the dog in just like a new setting with, think about kids. You don't want to all of a sudden throw them into a big room with 300 people. So the first week or two, the dog is only with the handler. The handler is somebody in the building. That's who the dog lives with, but all staff members are trained. So the dog starts with the handler and then slowly fades into going into the other classrooms.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for all the work you're doing. This is super exciting. They're at an event. You're doing collaborative work, and that's how I end every podcast. What does Stronger Together mean to you?
Stronger Together means being there for each other, helping each other. The way I want to be stronger together is to help you bring the therapy dog program to your district.
Wonderful. Well, Monica, thank you for stopping in. Glad you had a great session, and continue all the wonderful work that you're doing and with Champ and Romeo.
Thank you.